Hello. Right. Yeah, I'm late. I was running late. I literally I lost track of time, and I was pretty much prepared to be doing the bedroom, but obviously I didn't end up doing the bedroom because everyone voted to talk about the cancer, with it being Cervical Cancer Prevention Week next week. So yeah, so I've had to literally make room in the bedroom because I couldn't even get in this room. It was literally, if you could see, I've literally cleared a little space in the corner, but the rest, oh, crikey, I'm wrecking the place. The rest of it is absolutely trashed. So I'm just gonna have to stay in this little corner. I've got my comments on here, so hopefully, hey Ross. So what toasties did you make, Sam? Cheese and onion are my favourite toasties. I've got two, but I can't find the other one. It's in the mess somewhere over there. And obviously, I normally have like the comfy like computer chair in here, but I've lent it to Caden because the one he had for his desk, it was like one of the, oh, I like a pepperami. Hi Catherine, how are you doing? Yeah, I love pink. Pink's my favourite colour as well. I haven't even had any tea yet. Like I say, I totally lost track of time, and obviously I've been printing some info out, so I've got plenty of info and things, and I just had to then, it got to like, it was about 4 o'clock, my dad popped round, saw my dad for a bit, and then I literally have had to run around like a crazy thing, so I'm absolutely boiling. I just shouldn't really be drinking tea, I should probably drink me cold water. So what have you all been up to today then? What have you been up to, Catherine and Sam? Have you been busy today or? Rowdy kids. Hi Kim's diary. Oh, crikey. So you're just recovering from surgery. Well, I hope you're taking it easy, and I hope you feel better soon. That's not good, is it? Thursday for rare cancer. So what type of operation did you have then, if you don't mind me asking? If oh, 3.5 miles. Crikey, I don't know. Well, I couldn't walk 3.5 miles at the minute. I'm lucky if I can walk 3.5 meters sometimes. Have you done a haul, Sam? We'll be expecting a haul after this then, are we? I thought I didn't really know how to do this, because I think most of you know pretty much my story and where I'm at. And I didn't really want to go over my own, like, hi Hayley, how are you doing? Yeah, I didn't really want to go over just all my like story again. So I thought if I just look at general because obviously anybody with a cervix is at risk of getting cervical cancer, and obviously I'll just read this one sec. Well, fingers crossed for your results, Kim. I really hope everything's all right with that. I don't know if you've seen any of my videos, but I've got mine. When it came back, it had spread from my cervix to my lymph. Well, it had already spread into one of my lymph nodes in my pelvis area. And then when I had all my treatments, that went. But then when it came back, it had spread to my lymph system. And I've got a tumour just in my neck, like in my... Crikey. Just like, like in your little, like, hollowy bit there. It's just in there, sat in there. And then I've got one in my abdomen. But the one in my abdomen's actually wrapped round my main artery. So, but luckily, I had some radiotherapy in June on them. And when I had my last scan in December, well, just the recent MRI scan that I just had last week, it showed that them two are still behaving and they've shrunk a little bit. So hopefully, they're just obviously querying now whether there's a tumour in my uterus. But Haley's hiding. I don't blame you, Haley. I've locked myself in here. I've put the camera tripod behind the door so nobody can come in and disturb me. Yeah, so I've just had a letter today. The consultant's going to ring me on the 26th of this month, because they're going to have an MDT meeting to decide what the next step is. Obviously it would depend if it's a tumour that's blocking my cervix, then they're going to have to look at, I don't know whether they'd do some radiotherapy. I mean, personally, I'd rather they just did a hysterectomy, because she said to me when I spoke to her last week that it's very common for tumours to come back where they first started, so it would make sense to remove it, really. And then at least if there isn't a tumour there, it can't come back there. And if it's blocked with like scar tissue, then they said I'd probably have to have an operation to drain it. But then if they drain it, is it then going to come back? Is it going to be something that I need to keep having? In which case, if it is, then I think I'd rather have a hysterectomy again with that. So obviously I'm going to see what... Hi, B, how are you? Glad you could make it. What time? It must be on about 10:30, is it, for you? In the morning? Yeah, so I'm just going to wait and see, but I think that's what I'm going to try and push for if I can. Yeah, early. We're 7:20 we're on now, so not too bad. I've had a really lazy day. Like I say, I thought I was going to end up doing this room tonight. I thought that's what, because it looked like at one point it was winning with like 50%. So I didn't do much like research. I'd started a bit and got a few bits like down on paper, but I just really like lounged about, and then I had a manic probably an hour and a half of getting the room ready and getting myself 11, is it? Or what's the weather like? How's the weather over there? It's freezing where I'm sat here. It's like our window and it doesn't close properly. It's like tiny, like a little bit of opening, so I can just feel a little bit of a draft. But to be honest, it's quite nice after running around and getting a bit warm. I'll give it I know I desperately need to get back. I need to get this room sorted because I really need to get back to my felting and everything. I got up yesterday morning, I think well, I didn't hardly sleep, and I think I fell asleep about 5:30. I woke up about 5:45. So I ended up coming downstairs, and I really wanted to do some felting, but I wouldn't have been able to get in here to get any stuff out without waking anybody up. So I literally just did a bit of cross stitch, but it wasn't the same, and I really, really, like, now I'm missing it and I want to get back into it. So at least now I can get in here, so I can sort myself some stuff where I can get it, you know, so it's easily accessible. Just read these comments. Sam saying it's freezing and thick fog. I don't know if it's foggy here. No, I don't. It's not very foggy, but it is freezing out. Oh, Kim. Well, I'm keeping everything crossed that the biopsies they must be doing, is it, and sent them for testing. Yeah, fingers crossed. I'm keeping everything crossed for you, and like you say, I'm sending you massive healing vibes, and I really, really hope you feel better soon. And hopefully you're not in too much pain. Yeah, Hayley, Mummy Cooks Homemade, she said it's cold and frosty there as well. Oh, hi Rebecca. It's only the second time I've been live, to be honest. I went live at the beginning of December, I think it was, to celebrate when I got 1,000 subscribers, and I did some needle felting then. But yeah, it was really good. I was really nervous. To be honest, I was nervous about coming on tonight before I actually came on, but now I'm on, I feel better. I'm among friends, and I've seen all these, like, names, you know, that I know all you. I'm like, yeah, I feel a lot better. But I thought, I didn't know if any of you have got any questions that you want to ask me about my cancer, or anything that I haven't mentioned in any other videos. You know, if there's anything you want to ask, at any point, feel free to just ask, and I'll quite happily answer pretty much most things, really. Yeah, it does sound painful, doesn't it, that be? Yeah, Kim, I definitely am feeling for you at the minute. It's awful when you go, like, waiting, isn't it? Waiting's the worst. I don't feel too bad now. I think, even though there's still obviously the chance that it is a tumour, I feel, I don't know, I don't feel as anxious as I was, like, waiting for I think because I'd got it in my head that there was definitely going to be, like, 2 new tumours, but hopefully, like you say, they couldn't see any obvious masses, so fingers crossed. Oh, hi Jean, how are you? When was I? I was first diagnosed in June 2015. I'd been going to the doctors for about a year before my smear was due, because I was having quite a lot of bleeding, like, during sex and just during the month, when, you know, like, abnormal bleeding it was, really. And I'd gone to the doctors, like, quite a few times, and just kept getting fobbed off, really. I asked for a smear, and they told me that I wasn't due for one till next year, so it probably wasn't anything serious. And anyway, they changed my pill over, and I had to wait till the following year for my routine smear. And that's obviously when they found that, well, when I had my smear, they first told me that there was, when I got my letter, and it said that there was, like, changes to my cells, so I had to go for, like, more tests, but it had actually changed already into cancer cells. It wasn't, like, pre-cancer, but I had I had quite a bit of a nightmare really with the hospital and everything. I don't know if you've seen my the video about the NHS let me down one. That pretty much covers like all the mistakes and things like that. And even now, I mean, even now when I rang up for my MRI, and I'd rang up on the Monday and they said, oh, there was nothing, like no appointments made yet. And then when I phoned up on the Friday, she still wasn't convinced there was an appointment. And then it was only when I mentioned to her, because I said I was just wondering what the timeline is for an urgent referral, because it was obviously nearly 4 weeks ago. And then she came back and said that it was a good job that I'd rang, because I did have an appointment and I should have got a letter, which I hadn't got a letter. And then it was a bit strange, because then when I actually went for the scan, a lady turned up who thought she had her scan at the same time, and she was told hers was tomorrow. So it makes you think maybe they've like double booked, or I don't know, maybe it just was a bit strange how they didn't have an appointment. And then when I'd said about, you know, the time scale, they seemed to quickly get one. Yes, I do, Kim. And if you watch that other video, because that's exactly what happened to me when I went through a solicitor to complain about not being referred and things. They checked my previous smear slide, which was from I think 2012, and the doctor that checked that obviously was an independent doctor, not related to the trust, and he said that there was changes and severe changes. There was some borderline changes and some like severe, and there's pictures of the slides, and it's quite noticeable what he's saying that are these changes. But then when the hospital re-reviewed it, they got somebody from the same trust as them to review it. So they basically backed them up and said, oh no, the first results were accurate. But that's what they were saying, that they'd probably been reported as wrong when they'd come back as negative when they weren't. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think that. Hi Ellie, glad you could make it. How are you doing? I just want to say, Ellie, I don't know if you saw my message. I popped next door and it was there. I don't know if she'd said it was a letter, so I just assumed it was a bill or something, but it was like in an Amazon packaging. So, but yeah, they're absolutely brilliant. They're downstairs at the minute. I'll get Ross to bring them up, but there's absolutely loads. Ellie got me some little like chalkboard labels, and there's like a chalkboard pen, and there's a permanent marker pen. And when I went to IKEA, I got a load of glass jars, and I'd had some of like the chalk stickers before, and I've tried to write on it with the pen, and it didn't work, so I just took them off and got rid of them. But obviously now I'll be able to get the labels on and get them wrote now with the permanent marker, so thank you for them there. I'll show you in my next video where I've stuck them all, because no doubt they'll be stuck everywhere. Oh, so have you got you got a YouTube channel then, Kim? Because I'll pop over and I'll subscribe and have a watch of your videos. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? It's strange that, you know, that, yeah, because mistakes do get made, don't they? And that's the thing. And yeah, Catherine, that's it. There's so many mistakes, and I think it's just getting worse as well, because they're so understaffed, and especially now with all this pandemic business, they've not got the staff, have they? So things are unfortunately getting missed, and mistakes are getting made. Oh, hi Rhonda, how are you? I'm glad you could make it. I'm not, no, I've not seen you much. Yeah, all's not too bad. I was just saying there, I'm just waiting for a, I had an MRI, and that came back a little bit inconclusive, so they were going to have a meeting to decide what they were going to do next. And I've got that on the 26th of January, she's ringing me, so obviously I'll update you all with what she says and what the next steps are, really. Oh, I'm glad you're doing okay, Ellie. Oh, Kim, yeah, definitely. What I'll do is I'll I don't really know how I can put a link in here. If I knew how to put a link in the chat now, I would. If anybody does know how to do it, if you wouldn't mind going on Kim's, I don't know, I'm assuming you would go on a page maybe, and if not, what I'll do is I'll figure out how to do it and I'll put a link to your channel in the description. There'll be a way of doing it, I just don't know how to do it. Yeah, definitely. That's why I started this channel, because I wanted, you know, to raise awareness, and one of my main things is to get people to, like, be their own advocate, you know, and stand up for themselves. Because unfortunately, like you say, a lot of us feel quite, I don't know what the word is, but you feel a little bit like, oh, you know, if a doctor says something, you tend to be like, oh, okay, then you know best, sort of thing. And like you say, people do make mistakes, and thank you, Rhonda, I appreciate your prayers, I really do. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you've got heart failure. My mum's got heart failure. You're getting better though. If you're getting better, that's good. So is it are you on treatment for that then? How do I don't really know how they treat that, or... Right, Kim, yeah, I'll definitely have a look. Oh yeah, and B will support you. Thank you, B. Yeah, Ellie, you're right, and I think we've got to, haven't we? Because, and especially I think with cervical cancer as well, I think it's one of them cancers that people don't, I don't think people like to talk about it. I think because it's obviously involving your lady part sort of thing, I think people are sometimes a bit like, ooh, we don't want to talk about it. But, you know, every person that has a cervix is at risk of getting it. So it does need to be, you know, talked about, and awareness does need to be raised, doesn't it, for it? So I'll I got when I was looking for, yeah, Rebecca, you do have to be your own advocate, definitely. Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Yeah, Rebecca was saying there that she used to take what the doctor said as the answer, but now, like you say, do your research and question it, and that's exactly it. And I'm certainly not going to be quiet now. You know, I mean, I kept phoning up to chase up my appointment, and I mean, when I spoke to the consultant, when she actually rang me and told me, she said, oh, they might just leave it. And I said, I'm not happy with that, to be honest. Psychologically, I couldn't just wait for another 3 months, potentially knowing that there might be a tumour. So I think, hopefully, like you say, we'll get find out. Hi, Sarah, how are you doing? Oh, Rhonda, I'm sorry to hear your sister's just been diagnosed. Oh, I don't know what Frederick's ataxia. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. That is awful. Oh, can you send her some strength and love from me? I'll be thinking of her, and It's awful, isn't it? It's really, I mean, it's like when I was reading all these statistics, and it's, you know, and they say, don't they, now 1 in 2 people will get cancer in their lifetime, and it's such a scary word, isn't it, as well? It's, just 1 sec, I think I missed a comment from Haley. Yeah, Haley said understaffed, underfunded too, as money. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? With the pandemic at the minute, there's other priorities, isn't there, than, you know, other people have been, you know, made to wait and things. I know, I was speaking to a friend who was supposed to be having an eye operation a while ago, and they postponed that just because they just didn't have the staff available. So it's a shame that. Oh yeah, I bet it's cold over there under. But oh, see, a winter storm. It sounds lovely. I wouldn't like it, but it does sound lovely, and I bet it looks lovely once it's like LA. Oh yeah, Ellie, that's great. That's brilliant news that they managed to, you know, like nip it in the bud before anything happened. Yeah, that is brilliant. Yeah, and Jean's sending strength and love. Thank you, Jean. Sure, Rhonda will appreciate that, and Kim and right. So I thought I better. I can't just sit here, can I? And I'll just, I don't want to, I'm not going to read through all this because you'll be falling asleep. I just thought what I'll do, I'll just go through a few, like, facts and statistics and things like that. And then I thought maybe if we look at, like, the symptoms and, like, any, like, early signs, symptoms, things like that, how it can be prevented, if it can be prevented, things like that. Just because for your own self, and also for, you know, you might find out something today that you didn't know that you can maybe pass on to, you know, somebody younger, or, you know, I just think if we're all more aware, then we can't go wrong, can we? If we're. Oh, hi Yorkshire lass, how are you doing? Oh dear, sorry to hear that. Found a 5 cent. So have they done what are they planning to do with that then, Yorkshire lass? Have they made any plans yet, or? Hi Murphy and Lana's mummy, how are yous doing? How's the little kitties? I was watching them last night, they're so cute. Haley, no problem at all. Thank you so much for popping on and supporting me. I really appreciate it. And I'll have to start with my big long list of all Haley's meals I need to cook. It's what it's called, Haley's food. But yeah, thank you for joining me, Haley, and I do appreciate it. And I'll catch up with you again soon, hopefully. Oh, good. Glad they're doing great. I've when I was looking at my research and everything, obviously you've got to be oh, hiya Andrea, how are you? I've been enjoying watching your videos lately as well. I had a couple to catch up on, but I think I've caught up now. Yeah, when I was looking at like researching things, you've got to be very careful the websites that you use, because obviously some aren't reliable. Oh, well, we're keeping everything crossed as well for you for Friday then. You'll have to let me know if you can. I don't know if you've got me on Instagram, or my email address is usually like in the description. So if you get chance, obviously I know you probably won't get chance, but if you get chance and you think on, you'll have to let me know. And the same with you, Kim, as well. If you don't, well, I am going to go and subscribe to your page anyway, so hopefully I'll get find out how you're doing on there. How are you, Andrea? How are you doing? Yeah, definitely. We're keeping everything crossed. Yeah, so I don't know if you all know, but January is, in the UK, I think January is Cervical Cancer Awareness Month. But next week, from the 17th to the 23rd, it's Cervical Cancer Prevention Week. So that's why I thought if we can just maybe look at a few things, like you say, if you know, you might know somebody who's experienced any of the symptoms, or you know, you might be due your smear yourself, it might just give you a reminder or anything. I just thought, oh, I'm glad you're okay, Andrew. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. At the minute, I'm not doing too bad. Still a bit up in the air, but hopefully on the 26th of this month, we'll find out where we're at and what's going on, hopefully. So yeah, and when I was looking at the research, I didn't want to. I was looking at global figures initially, and then I thought, well, it varies, because obviously some countries don't have screening, some countries don't have the HPV vaccine that like some do now. So I thought, really, if I just concentrated on the facts and the figures mainly for the UK, but then when I've looked at treatments and things, I've also looked at a couple of American websites, and I've got a couple of names for a couple of like support groups in America as well as some in the UK. So yeah, so when there's actually, I was quite surprised with this figure. I thought it was more, but this was an average over between 2016, 2018. These are like average figures. So there was around 3,200 new cervical cancer cases every year. It's the 14th most common type of cancer, obviously in women. It accounts for 2% of all cancers, like new cancers in women, which is quite low, isn't it? 2%. It also accounts for less than 1% of all new cancer cases. That's obviously in males and females. So it's actually not very common, really, but it is quite common. You know, it doesn't seem very. Yeah, I got a bit of information from the NCC's, the National Cervical, or where was it? National Cancer. Yeah, I've definitely been on their website. Oh, hi, Amanda. How are you? Oh, yeah. Take your time. Yeah, I feel good. I feel good tonight. I've had a couple of lazy days, so I haven't been too tired, and oh, good. Glad you're doing okay. So I'm just trying to find some. So another little fact that I didn't know, but cervical cancer is more common in white females than it is in Asian females. But it's similar to black females. But Asian and black females are similar to each other. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Yeah, that doesn't really make any sense. and an estimated, this is quite a good statistic when you think 3,000 roughly diagnosed a year. At the end of 2010, 34,800 women who had previously been diagnosed with cervical cancer were alive in the UK. So that shows that quite a lot, I think 51%, right, forget that. I'm going off track. I'm jumping way ahead. I'm jumping pages and pages, jumping onto statistics that... Crikey, Kim. So that must be really hard then. So have you got to go to like a specialist hospital like quite far from you then, or... Because 900 women worldwide, there's not going to be a lot of specialists, is there, in that field? Yeah, I wondered. Yeah, I'm... Because I can imagine in this country, if it was like a specialist thing, you would probably have to travel like quite far. Well, I say quite far. We're in like the north, and I would imagine that you'd probably have to travel to a big city if you had like a rare cancer or something. Yeah, that is 900, crikey. Yeah, you won't be able to find out much. I'll be definitely interested to... Right, yeah. Right, so yeah, so your own like oncology doctors looking at, but they're talking right to another hospital that have probably got more specialist info. Well, that's good if you're in Cornwall. Plymouth, do you mean Plymouth? Is that... Unless there's an Ollie... I don't know, maybe there is a place called... Yeah, I thought you meant Plymouth. Oh, so that... Is that... Trying to think, Cornwall to Plymouth. What is it, about an hour? An hour's drive, something like that, is it? My tea's getting cold now. Right, let's have a look. Find some... So the majority of women, 9 out of 10 women that are diagnosed, are between... Around 9 out of 10 women in England diagnosed with cervical cancer survive their disease for 5 years or more. That's obviously if you're diagnosed younger. If you're over 80, that's only a quarter, so only about 2-3 people. And I was originally diagnosed in 2015, and we're, 2022 now. So yeah, I'm in my 7th year from original diagnosis. When I was re-diagnosed in 2019, they give me 12 to 18 months to live. But obviously, I've beat that prognosis because I had 18 months worth of stable scans, and for like a year and a half, the tumours didn't do anything and they just stayed like the same. And it was only this year in May that they started growing, and that's when I had the targeted radiotherapy in June on these 2 tumours. Hi Nana5. I've been subscribed while I'm... Oh, thank you. Well, just by watching my videos, and you know, that's supporting me enough, and you're here tonight, so I really appreciate it. Honestly, I do. I appreciate everybody's support. You know, it's a lovely community. I think that I've got in, you know, my little like subscriber family. Everybody's just so lovely and supportive and caring. Oh, hiya Barb, how are you? Yeah. Amanda's saying she's got agoraphobia, so getting out is a big problem, yeah. Yeah, it is, it's hard, isn't it? Or did I miss that? yeah. I know it's hard when you've got agoraphobia. Well, could they not get a, like a district nurse or somebody to come out and do it for you, or, you know, save you having to go? Oh, hi Helena, thank you for your support, I really appreciate it. How are you? Are you okay tonight? Oh, I'm glad you were doing okay, Barb. Nice to speak to you. So what's everybody been up to? What's everyone up to tonight? Well, obviously you sat listening to me waffle on at the minute, but has anybody got anything planned for like the rest of the weekend, tomorrow, or anything? Right, where did I find that? Just give me a minute, just talk amongst yourselves. Right, so that's my smear. Yeah, so yeah, it says that 99.8% of cervical cancers in the UK are now preventable, and that's since the introduction of the HPV vaccine. Now, when I was originally diagnosed, they never said that I had HPV. And I know they tested for it, but it was never mentioned. So I don't know, to my knowledge, I didn't have that, but I know that it is a very, very common virus, and I think something like a lot of, well, I can't remember the exact figures, but a lot of people contract that virus without even knowing that they've ever had it sometimes. You know, you can just get it and it goes, and it's only obviously sometimes it can develop, it can cause cancer to develop. Oh, Ellie, that's no problem. I appreciate you coming on and showing your support, and I'm glad I got to thank you for my stickers as well. I did tell him, I told him that you were pleased with his message. Yeah, he was over the moon with it, honestly. He's used it literally since he got it. He is a good lad. Yeah, I will see you soon as well, Ellie. I'll talk to you very soon, and take care. And thank you for coming on and supporting me. Right, Helena, I have an MRI coming up. Oh. Well, you see, I had an MRI, was it Monday? I can't even remember what day it was. And to be honest, I don't know if you've seen my video with my update from it, but it wasn't great for me, I found this time. But I think it was a bit of a combination because, I mean, I was in the actual scanner for an hour. And I think when I've had them normally, I've only ever been in for about half an hour, 20 minutes. But I was in for an hour and like fully in. And I had my mask on as well. And then you have headphones on as well for the noise. And I think I was just getting a bit like, I felt like I couldn't get my breath. And at one point, I could hear like the guy was trying to talk to me, but I couldn't hear what he was saying. It was just mumbling. And that got me panicked because I was thinking, is he telling me he's going to be even longer? Am I supposed to be doing something? Or so in the end, I pressed the buzzer and he came and I took my mask down and just like calmed myself down a bit because I was in a bit of a state in there. But I don't know why you would need to have your mask on if you're in that room on your own. So it might be worth asking if you maybe don't need to have your mask on. Just check these comments. But I'm keeping everything crossed for your MRI. But prior to that, the ones I'd had before that were absolutely fine. I think it was just because it was so long and because I had my mask on as well. Oh, hi, Louis. Is it Louis? Louis? I never know how to pronounce that. Ah, right, yeah. Yeah, you do. It would be great, wouldn't it? It would be great if you could beat it. Are you having any like treatments or anything? Is there like any like therapy type treatments that you can have for it or anything? Or have you tried any techniques or anything? Oh, do you, Kim? What's your crafting channel called? Because I'll be checking that out as well. Yeah, and I suppose as well if you, because I've kind of combined like my channel's kind of a little bit of everything really. I have a bit of needle felting, shopping hauls, a bit of cleaning, vlogs, obviously my cancer journey. It's a bit of a everything really. Yeah, I do think generally, like you say, MRIs are fine. I think it was me rather than the actual MRI, and I think it was just because I was getting myself panicky. Yeah, definitely. What type of crafts do you do then, Kim? I do like a good craft, but saying that, I think I need to get rid of some of my stuff really, because I think if I lived till I was 308, I don't think I'd use it all. And it just seems a shame for it to be sat gathering dust, so I think I might sort through some bits and donate some to... Yeah, that's it. I think when you're wearing a mask, and I think if you start to... I mean, I've been having quite a lot of like panic and anxiety attacks lately anyway. Like really like quite bad ones. And I think that's what was like with the scanner. So I don't think it was so much the scan, like you say. I think it was me more than... Oh, I'd love a cricket. Yeah, I like, I was practising my little embroidery. I don't, you won't be able to see that. I was practising some little embroidery stitches myself the other week. But I'm not very good at embroidery, but it is something I did enjoy doing that, because when I've made some of my like... This isn't really on the... you can see it on there a little bit. I don't know if you can see that for the glare. Like down there I've used like embroidery for the grasses. And then on this one here down here I've just used a few like little embroidery. And just to give it a bit more texture. But yeah, I'm not very good at... Yeah, so yeah. Oh, hi Dean, how are you? Glad you made it. Oh, let me see if I can pronounce this right. Is it Liana? 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 That's a nice name, that. I've never heard that before. Yeah, I love felting. When I was going to the hospice, like before Christmas, well, I think it was actually before I went away in October, I stopped going. We were doing a bit of wet felting there, because I haven't really done a lot at home. I've bought all this, well, I say I've bought the stuff. I've bought a bubble wrap, and I found you can use like some people use like a pool, you know, them pool inflatable things to do wet felting. But I found in Caden's bedroom a little foam baseball bat, so I've pinched that, so that'll do for when I do some wet felting for rolling it. Yeah, it's definitely relaxing, isn't it? That's what I think I like about it. It's not, you don't have to be super like concentrating when you're doing it. You can just be, obviously, avoiding stabbing yourself, which I've done quite a few times. I think I did that on the last live I was on. I think I stabbed myself. Yeah, a neck curtain. Yeah, that's what. Is that what they used at the hospice? I think, yeah, I think it was just a neck curtain. Yeah, I need to, like you say, I think I'm gonna try and tackle this bedroom next week. Because the thing is as well, this is a bit of a, I have to pick the camera up and show you around, but it's really bad. It's a bit of a all sorts room really. It's got obviously a bit of junk in that, well, it's not junk, it's stuff that, bits that need to go in the loft. I've got obviously the girls' boxes that I'm doing, that I'm decorating. I don't know if you might not have seen that on a video. Yeah, so I've got the boxes in here, and then I've got like old paperwork stacked up, and then at the minute I've got, I don't know if you can, no you can't see, there's like a chest of drawers at the side of me with Caden's Lego that we need to get rid of. I've got a load of other charity shop clothes and stuff that I've got over there that needs to go, but I need to get in so I can start doing stuff. Do you know what, Barb? I hadn't heard of felting either until it was during the lockdown, and I stumbled across a YouTube channel called Felts by Philippa, and she literally, she's inspired. Well, she was probably my, you know, like my initial inspiration for starting YouTube and all the felting and everything. So she's really good. If you want to do more felting, she's got some, you know, fantastic tutorials, like really good. Let's have a look. Oh, thank you, Nana5. Yeah, the boxes, I don't know if you all know, but I've just got some, like, they're just like cardboard boxes, and I'm decorating them all, one each for all the kids, and one for Ross. And I've decorated them with old, like, birthday cards that they've bought me, fabrics, and then inside I'm putting them a photo album each of, like, obviously all the family, my grandparents, like a bit of a family tree. And it's got all their, like, baby stuff, you know, like all my pregnancy info and the little name bracelets that they get when they're born, and the first outfits and shoes and things like that. So yeah, they're quite, but I've still got them to finish. Is all stable in my fighting journey? Well, we're still a bit up in the air. I was just saying earlier there, I had an MRI on Monday because they were questioning whether I had 2 new tumours in my bowel and my uterus. But I've had the results, and it doesn't look like there's any obvious masses. There's no other cancer, it doesn't look like anywhere else. It's just my uterus, because there's quite a lot of blood and fluid in there, and they're not sure. So they're having an MDT meeting to decide what the next step is. I'll probably have to have an examination, and then depending on if it's a tumour, probably have chemotherapy, and if it's blocked from scar tissue from the radiation, then I think I'm going to see if I can push to get a hysterectomy rather than them drain it and then have to do it again if it blocks again and keep doing it. Should a sandwich be squished before eating? Help me settle it. No, it shouldn't. No, I don't squish my sandwiches. Unless it's a crisp sandwich. If I'm having a crisp sandwich, I might squish it down a bit. Yeah, I'd love a cricket. That would be on my Yeah, you make flatbread, yeah. Yeah, yeah, you can't beat a crushed crisp sandwich. I've been trying to be good with my eating and trying to get back on my, like, really healthy eating and cutting out all the sugar and everything and cutting out most of dairy. Well, not most of dairy, but quite a bit of dairy. I can't give up my cups of teas, I don't think. But it's just really hard getting into it, and I know I have to. I know I need to for my own like physical health, really. But right, I feel like everyone voted for me to talk about this, and I'm not even talking about it, am I? So yeah, so like you say, 90, like with the prevention now of the HPV vaccine, like 99.8% is preventable. I mean, that is pretty amazing, and that's not just with the vaccine. That's obviously early screening as well. So main symptoms would be abnormal bleeding, maybe bleeding during the month, during or after sex, like bleeding in between your periods, things like that, having heavier periods than normal, bleeding after you've been through the menopause. The other thing that you can, obviously all women have, like you have a vaginal discharge that obviously keeps your body in its flora and, you know, keeps everything balanced. But one of the signs can be, you know, if you notice any changes to that, because that's quite a good indicator, really, like, because you will know, you know your body, and, you know, so if you notice anything different there, then, you know, that's go and get checked. Pain during sex, pain in your lower back, in your pelvis, or in your lower tummy. Now, when I was diagnosed, I was having a lot of pains in my, like, lower abdomen and down my thighs. And I actually went to the doctor, and the doctor put me on the sick with sciatica. Or that's what he thought it was, but obviously it turned out it wasn't. It was the cancer, but it was quite similar symptoms to, like, sciatica, you know, like that. Like shooting pain down your legs and... yeah, so pain, obviously. If you've got any of them symptoms, or there's anything else, like, not just regarding, like cervical, if there's any other thing about your body that at the minute that you think, that's not quite right, or that's changed, or anything, it's worth getting checked out. It really, really is. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, it might not be nothing, but if you know yourself that there's something not right, then go and get checked. And if you're not happy with, like, the outcome of that, get a second opinion if you need to, get a third opinion. Oh, Helena, I've not, I did my midwifery training, and I remember, like, doing obviously about ovulation and things, and I don't think it's, like, very common to bleed when you're ovulating, but if it does bother you, it might be worthwhile. Have you got a different GP at your surgery or at your practice? Could you maybe make an appointment and go see one of the GPs and just see what their opinion is? None of 5, of course you can. Feel free, say what you want. Andrea's saying, yeah, the HPV vaccine has been a game changer. Yeah, definitely. I've had issues with HPV. Yeah, it keeps being detected when I need smears. Yeah, it is. It's very common. That's what I mean. And you know, people don't realise, and I think people are a bit like, oh, we don't want to talk about it, but it is very, very, very common. Oh, Helena, well, at least if they're checking that out, then at least that's, yeah, good. I'm glad. See, and that's the thing there, isn't it? If you'd have just let that go, they probably wouldn't have done anything. I'm glad, good for you. Good for you doing that and standing up for yourself, yeah. And you'll have to let me know, please, how you get on. Lois, hope you get... Yeah, definitely. I do. I know I'm a bit crazy probably saying like I want a hysterectomy, but I just think if this isn't a tumour and one could grow back, then surely just get rid of it. And if it's not a tumour and it's going to keep getting blocked because my cervix is now blocked, then I don't need it. I've gone through the menopause, which I went through the menopause when I had my chemotherapy that like puts you into like early menopause. So it's not like I need any of it. Oh, thank you, Lois. Yeah, and hugs to you as well. Ah, right. Andrea was saying like she has pain. Yeah, I've heard like pain when you're ovulating and things, but I didn't realise. But yeah, definitely, like you say, you're better to just go and get checked, aren't you? And like Helena was saying there, if you don't let it drop, they do listen to you because they have to. You know, and like you say, I'm certainly not keeping quiet anymore now. If I don't worry about my body and my health, nobody else will. Because at the end of the day, you're just a statistic to them, and you go in, they see you go out, and they're on to the next patient, and they probably don't give you another thought. Oh, hi, Shauna. How are you doing? I'm glad you could make it. I haven't got very far with my talking about our cervical cancer and prevention and everything. We're just up to symptoms, really. Yeah, so like any of them symptoms or anything that you think isn't right for you, just go get checked. Yeah, it said some patients don't experience any symptoms until it's advanced. It may be possible to notice signs at an early stage. Yeah, and this is vaginal bleeding. That's one of the most common things. Bleeding that seems different in any way should be reported. Like say pelvic pain. Again, other symptoms can include leg pain or swelling, which I had leg pain, weight loss, fatigue, back pain, leakage of urine or feces from the vagina, bone fractures, difficulty urinating and having a bowel movements, and blood in the urine. And they're like symptoms of more advanced, which was kind of where I had a few of them. I had the leg pain, the back pain, the fatigue. I didn't have any blood in my urine or anything or issues with that, but had all the pain. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I know, yeah, definitely. I agree, Shauna, yeah. And it's fantastic, you know, that that, you know, you're here like to tell us to get checked. That's brilliant. But yeah, everybody please go and get checked. Dean, yeah, because I know warts can actually be related to the HPV virus. So I don't know if it was anything maybe related to that at the time, because obviously, you know, like, I think that's one of the actual like symptoms of like the HPV virus. So yeah, so if you've got any symptoms or anything, go to your doctors, and then in theory you should be referred to get it checked out. I asked them to do a smear, but they wouldn't do one. But I've since been told that I could have had a smear earlier. It just would have meant that the doctor would have had to refer me to a gynaecologist to do it, which wouldn't have been a problem. But instead of doing that, it was just easier for them to obviously say they couldn't do it. Because I don't know whether, because all they need to do for a referral, isn't it? It's just fill a form in, so... But yeah, I found that out since, which I could have. 9 of 5, I've just gone 50 and my breathing wasn't right. I ran doc, not got appointment, got appointment. Oh, that's awful, isn't it? So yeah, so 9 of 5 saying there she ended up getting an ambulance. Took to A&E, said to the nurse that she couldn't breathe, and the nurse shouted at her and said, yes, you can breathe. If you couldn't breathe, you'd be blue. That's awful, isn't it? Some people don't have very good bedside manners, do they? Yeah, so something wasn't right, was it? And this is the thing, isn't it? It's... Yeah, PTSD, I think, yeah, it can... I think that I've, like, got a bit of PTSD, you know, I think with, you know, all the trouble I had and everything, I do think, because I do really struggle with, like, my mental health sometimes, and anxiety and panic attacks. Yeah, and Shauna's saying, so 20 years it's taken to get something done. I had a bowel resection, that's what I had after my radiotherapy, because that damaged like a big chunk of my bowel, and it damaged it. It caused scar tissue to build up, so it basically blocked. So obviously I had to have a chunk of that removed. Yeah. Do you know what? I'm not surprised. 9 of 5. That's awful, and that is gonna. And the thing is, if you're shot down like by a doctor or a nurse or something like that, you're not gonna feel comfortable then going back, and you know, because you. Oh, Amanda, I'm so glad. Oh, is it your birthday? Oh, I'll have to try and remember it's your birthday. I'm going to write that down, because I don't want to forget that. 3rd of February, yeah. Just so I can remember to wish you a happy birthday. I don't know. Yeah, don't. I mean, I can understand you've been scared of, like, getting the results, especially if you haven't had one for a long time. But if you haven't had any of the symptoms or anything, then, you know, it's probably absolutely fine. But, you know, don't worry about the actual smear. You've, like you say, you've probably had them before, and they're not great, are they? And they're a bit embarrassing, and I get a bit of tummy cramps afterwards, but oh, is that what they did? They used freezing. So was it? Did they say whether it was the HPV virus that had caused them then, or? Yeah, I know, Shauna. When the doctors say that something isn't wrong with you, yeah, and you know, because that was like me when I kept going back. I knew something wasn't right. You know, you know, don't you? And I mean, I even said to her, I'd specifically said, you know, I know something's not right. And like you say, she just, it was just so matter of fact, but, well, you're not due for a smear till next year, so, like, it couldn't possibly be that because you're not due, sort of thing. And yeah, but yeah, so that's great news anyway, Amanda, that you're going for your smear. So I was just going to move on to smears, which is obviously the screening. It varies in different countries as well, the age of when they start and how often. I know in Wales, I think a new law's just passed in Wales, to say that it's going to be every 5 years now they're doing smears instead of every 3 years. So I think that's down to the success of the vaccine. Oh, Amanda. If, I'll, yeah, pop me a message and we'll have a chat, Amanda. But honestly, I think you'll be fine. I think, like you say, you're going in. If you're worried, that's completely understandable, and you're gonna be, and especially when you're sat in a chat like this and we're talking about everything, it is gonna be. But yeah, I'm proud of you too, Amanda. I really, really am. It is hard. None of 5. I've got to fight now because it was proved to me when it was left in other people, like other hands, that you get forgotten about. And so yeah, you've got to fight back and stand up for yourself. You really do. You know, and at the end of the day, the doctors and nurses are humans. You know, everybody makes mistakes. And I mean, I'm certainly not disrespecting the NHS. I think the NHS is absolutely fantastic. And I think nurses and everything, and like people that work in the NHS are, you know, brilliant. And I think they do an absolutely fantastic job. I mean, my eldest daughter, I don't know if you know, you probably do know, she's a theatre nurse at the hospital. She's a sister in there, and, you know, I know she's, like, good. You know, she's very thorough, and, like, she just fits, you know, like, you can tell she's in the right job. And my middle daughter, she's doing her teacher training at the minute. She didn't want to go down the medical route. But my youngest daughter as well, Caitlin, she's a student paramedic as well. So, you know, I have a lot of respect for the NHS and the staff and that. But they do make mistakes. Yeah, so if you go, so your smear will probably be, like you say, depending on what country you're in, how often you'd have it and things like that. It's a pretty simple, quick procedure. I'm sure you've all probably had one. If you haven't, it's basically all that happens. You'll go in, you Yeah, Andrea's just said there, the main problem is the NHS staff are so overworked. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I am. I'm very proud of all 4 of them. Caden's obviously still at school, but he wants to be an engineer. And I honestly, I can't fault him as a kid. He's good as gold. I don't have any trouble with him. He's not cheeky. You know, I honestly, I can't fault him. He is brilliant. Yeah, and obviously my daughters, they're all, you know, I'm really proud of them all. Yeah, the NHS are brilliant, yeah. But yeah, they are struggling. So we've got to kind of do our bit, I suppose. And if we know there's something, you know, instead of just waiting for screenings and waiting, we need to be proactive, don't we, I think, and go and actually get help. But like you say, for a smear, like, I'm sure you've all had them, but all they do normally, like you say, they do, well, I've got a little picture of a, must be in there, printer. Yeah, they just, all they do is they put just a little plastic speculum in, and all that does is just opens a little bit, and then they use like a little tiny little brush, a very fine little brush, and they just insert the brush and just literally just like wipe the brush around your cervix, and then that obviously then that's sent off for testing. But it is quite a simple procedure, but it's a nerve-wracking procedure, and it's embarrassing, and it's, you know, it's worrying, isn't it? But it's definitely worth the few minutes of uncomfortableness, I would say. It's certainly not painful. I've got here like all the different methods of what they would do if your smear comes back showing signs of abnormal cells, like what the next steps would be, and that would, one sec, Amanda. Yeah, it is. I love all you guys. I think that's what I mean. It's such a lovely, like, supportive community. Oh, thank you. I actually, I went to uni to do my midwifery, but I never ended up practicing because I just, my vision of how I expected to be a midwife was, I was all for all natural, you know, supporting women to let their bodies do what it's designed to do, and unfortunately, like Andrea was saying, like, about being understaffed, it's, I forgot where I was going with that now, just give me a minute, it'll come back to me. Oh, Kim, no problem. Thank you so much for joining me. I've been waffling on for an hour and a half nearly, and I've hardly got through any of these, so thank you so much, honestly, for supporting me, and I'll pop over to your channel later on, and thank you, honestly, thank you, and keep me posted, won't you? And we'll see you soon, hopefully, Kim, next time. Yeah, so if you've got abnormal, like, if it shows up that you've got abnormal cells, then you'll be called in for more tests. And what they do there is, let me find the, yes, so obviously they'll get the cells and then they'll test them, and then if you have got abnormal cells, they can remove the precancerous cells. There's a couple of different procedures. There's LLETZ, which is LLETZ, and that's a large loop excision of the transformation zone. And basically all that does, it's just like a little loop that the put round, like obviously the cell, like the part they want to remove, and it just has an electrical current, and it basically cuts the tissue and seals it at the same time. And then obviously that's then sent off as well, just to double check that that's and then there's another type of procedure, which is NETZ, which is NETZ, and this is a needle excision of the transformation zone, and that's similar, but they use a thin wire and they cut the area away rather than like using a loop. Now when I had mine done, it was awful because you could smell the burning flesh. Like really, it smelled like it once didn't smell good, but yeah, I could you could really smell the burning, and I'm sure I looked in the jar and there was must have been about an inch's worth of tissue that they'd taken. So then obviously that would be then sent off again, and then if it came back that they were just precancerous and they'd got them all out, then that would be fine, and then you'd probably just I think you would have a smear sooner. I did read that. Yeah, I think you then go annually. I think you have them annually then for a couple of years. But obviously if they have changed into cancer cells already, then obviously depending on the stage of the cancer, would depend on the treatment. So if it was stage 1 and it was just in the cervix, surgery would probably be the main treatment, and they would probably do a hysterectomy and just remove all that. And then stage 2 is where it's spread from the immediate area into a local area, which is what happened to mine, and it spread from obviously my cervix to one of my lymph nodes in my pelvis, and then because it had already spread to my lymph nodes, they said it would be pointless doing a hysterectomy because I'd need to have chemotherapy and radiotherapy anyway. But looking back in hindsight now, I wish I'd pushed to have the hysterectomy as well. And then stage 3 means that it's spread from the cervix and it's spread to further areas, like maybe in the abdomen. And then stage 4 means it's spread further, further afield. And obviously because mine's quite far away, obviously I'm classed as stage 4 because it's spread. And like you say, so the treatment would either be a hysterectomy, which is obviously whether, see what it says here. During the operation, the doctor will remove your womb, including your cervix, all the tissue holding your womb in place, the top of your vagina, and all the lymph nodes around the womb. And like you say, if your cancer is just in the cervix, then it's not too bad. They can remove it and remove all the cancer. But if it's obviously spread out of that area, then that's when you need to have chemotherapy and radiotherapy. And sometimes, if they do a hysterectomy, they'll remove some of the lymph nodes in your pelvis, and they'll either check them, or if they've already checked them maybe with a PET scan or something, they might remove some of them. Just check these. Yeah, I know it's a pain, isn't it, Andrea? But it's worth getting them done, isn't it? I mean, obviously I can't have smears now, so... And that's really frustrating because literally about every 6 months I get a letter through my door inviting me to go for cervical screening. And I've rang them umpteen times and told them I can't have cervical screening anymore. But they just keep sending me the letters, and it's a bit of a kick in the teeth really when I get the letters. Yeah, Barb, yeah, probably like you say, just oh, hi Muriel, I'm glad you could make it. How are you doing? Oh, yeah, that's good, yeah. No, it's not. It's not fair sometimes, is it? But yeah, so obviously, if you need to have chemotherapy and radiotherapy, they also do as a standard treatment, and I'm pretty sure it's standard in the US as well. They do chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and then they do brachytherapy, which is a internal radiotherapy. Yeah, Amanda, it does, that's what I mean. And every time I phone them, they apologise and say, oh, we'll get you taken off the list, but then 6 months later I get another letter. Liana, what comments have they blocked? I can see that you've put there why you block my comment. It normally comes up if somebody puts something that it thinks it might be a little bit, it normally comes up and asks me whether I can like put it in the chat, but nothing's come up. Yeah, it's awful, isn't it, when you get them reminder letters? Hi Quint, how are you? Right, so where are we now? We'll come back to them. Done our symptoms. Treatments. Right. Surgery. Right, where's... I've lost my... 1 minute, I'll be back in a minute. It's after treatment. I've lost my sheet. Yeah, I think I've lost a bit of my sheet, but it doesn't matter because I was only going to talk about chemotherapy and radiotherapy anyway. So yeah, so chemotherapy, the standard treatment in the UK for cervical, the chemo radiation side of it. Happy Saturday to you too. I hope you've had a good Saturday. Oh yeah, all these comments in this live will go once I finish the video, but I'll release it as a video, but then you'll be able to comment like normal comments on it, but all these comments. Oh, hi Mary, sorry I didn't see you there, sneak in. Oh yeah, but it's chilly there. Oh, B, I've seen her. I've seen, is it April's cancer journey or April's journey or something like that? Yeah, I've seen her, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it's April's Journey or something, isn't it? Yeah, so you've been for your smear, they've found out that there's abnormal cells, you've been for them, you've been for that, they've taken a biopsy, and then they've come back to you and said that you have actually got cancer. So then you would receive, like I say, in the UK, it's 5 treatments of chemotherapy, 28 sessions of radiotherapy. I think it can be 25, 28. I had 28. And 3 internal radiotherapy sessions I had an extra 6 radiotherapy, 6 extra chemotherapy, because I did a clinical trial called the Interlace trial, and it was 6 different. It was a different chemotherapy to the one that I was having for the standard treatment. I think I had Taxol. I think it's called Taxol, Paclitaxel or something. The one I had, which was a bit nastier than the one that's used for standard cervical cancer treatment in this country is called cisplatin. But I had the Taxol first, and something else as well, I'm sure. Taxol and then the cisplatin. And I think I had 2 weeks of chemotherapy, and then I started my radiotherapy. So I was having oh, Mary, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, she is. She's lovely, April. I think, Mary, it's something like April's Cancer Journey. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that is definitely one I'm following then. Yeah, she is. She's lovely. I follow another couple of people as well. There's a lady in America. There's a lady called Carrie, and her channel is called Terminal Doesn't Mean Goodbye. And then there's Jodie, whose channel is called Too Cute for Cancer. And then there's another couple as well that I follow. But yeah, I've recently just started following April's story. How are you doing then, Mary? How are you doing in yourself? And have you had any treatments, or is there any treatments planned or anything, or? Yeah, she's lovely, Carrie. And what's the other name of the other lady that I follow as well? There's a couple. There's a lady in she's in the Netherlands. Romy. It's like Roma. She's lovely as well. Yeah, ovarian cancers. Yeah, that is silent symptoms, isn't it? Yes, that's her. Yeah, she's lovely as well. Yeah, and there's another couple as well. I'll try and what I'll do is I'll have a little look, and all the ones that I follow, when I do my next video, I'll put them all in, and then anybody who's not following them, they can have a little look. But yeah, so I'm sorry to hear that, Mary. That's not good, is it? I know I was yeah, she is a sweetheart. And what's the Becky? Is it Becky Shields? It's Becky as well. I think she's in Canada. Oh, Nana 5, no, don't worry at all. I just appreciate you I really, really honestly appreciate you being here tonight and supporting me. And I'm sorry if I feel like I've let you all down really, because I haven't really discussed really what I was supposed, all this that I was going to go through, but oh, I, I, I can knit basic, Mary, but it's very basic. But I think I'm the same with wool, to be honest. Everywhere I look, there's just boxes and boxes. And they were all, you know, like, a lot of them were given to me, and it's like I say, I feel like I feel like I've got card making stuff as well, and I don't really do a lot of card making. I don't have enough time to felt really, let alone card make, so I was thinking about maybe donating some of it. Yeah, they are. Oh, thank you, Barb. I hope not, because I know everyone like voted for me to talk about, but I hope, I mean, I have got, actually, there was a couple of bits that I thought would be quite interesting. So, yeah, so I just found a bit and it says how you can, like, lower your chances. How you can lower your chances of getting cervical cancer. So obviously cervical screening and the HPV vaccine are the best ways. All women from the ages of 25 to 64 are invited for regular screenings. So we all need to try and go. Oh, thank you, Shauna. Yeah, that's Jodie, isn't it? Too cute for cancer. She's lovely. Oh, thank you. Children, obviously all children aged 12 and 13 are offered the HPV vaccine. So, you know, that is an amazing, and I know, like Dean was saying there, it says that the HPV vaccine helps prevent against all cancers caused by HPV, as well as genital warts, because I know they can be linked to the HPV virus. Using condoms can reduce your chances of getting HPV. Quitting smoking, because that can weaken your immune system. And eating a balanced diet, which I think, you know, it's quite common knowledge now, isn't it, that diet does play a massive part in your health and well-being. And right, just have a... Oh, no, I really, does anybody have it? Is there anything in particular anybody wants to ask me, or anything about the cancer, or anything about anything while I'm here? I hope I didn't dazzle you too much in my sparkly jumper. Oh, thank you for your time. Honestly, I really appreciate you giving up your Saturday night. And I know, obviously, depending on where you're at, it's not a Saturday night. I know some of you like be early morning. Well, not early morning. You're probably coming up to lunchtime now. But I do appreciate you, honestly. I appreciate every single one of you. All the comments and everything I receive. And I do think, like, my journey, obviously I'm planning on recording, like, vlogging my journey for as long as I can, and I just I truly appreciate each one of you. I really do. And you know, the support and everything. Oh, Shauna, I don't go clothes shopping very often. Literally, I think I've had this, do you know this jumper? I think I've had it about 6 years. Oh, thank you, Muriel. I don't sometimes, it's like you know, you probably know yourself, it's like you have good days and bad days, don't you? And I made sure that I had quite a restful day yesterday and today, because I didn't want to not come on. I wanted to be, and I made sure I was up to date, like on top of my tablets and everything, and so I wasn't gonna be in too much pain or anything. Yeah, definitely the vaccine for younger people is... Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah. It's awful that you're all so, like, far away, because I'd love to just, like, have a big meet up and all of us meet up and... Now, I've heard about soursop tea leaves. Oh, thank you. Actually, I bought myself some of them years and years ago when I was, well, not years and years ago, when I was re-diagnosed in 2019. I looked at lots of, like, alternative, natural, like things to use. Hi, Debbie. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, they are supposed to be quite good. I might do. I've wrote myself a big to-do list of all the things that I want to research. Because I do take like a couple of like natural type supplements and things like that. And one of the things I've only just introduced into my diet, which I was gonna chat about on my next video, but I've started taking black seed oil, and since I started taking it, I've felt like I've had a bit more energy. And when I was doing the research and everything, my dad's got pulmonary fibrosis, so he struggles to, like, breathing. He gets really out of breath, and I read that it was supposed to be quite good for, like, lung health as well. And he's been taking it, and he popped round to see me today. And touch wood, he said he's feeling a bit better as well. So that's one thing that I've, like, added on to my... And then there's a few other... Oh, thank you. Oh, my son is amazing. He is, it definitely is. My home's not great. It's... we need to move, to be honest. We've lived here for 7 years, and it's a rented house. And when we first moved here, we only moved here really as a stopgap, and we were going to move somewhere else. But obviously we moved in here 2014, and then I was diagnosed the following June. So obviously we haven't done anything like about moving, but we are now trying to find a house, because I need a downstairs toilet. I really do. Since having the radiotherapy, my bowel and bladder are not as well behaved as they once were, so to speak. So I really need a downstairs loo. So we are looking in the process of moving, because everywhere just needs decorating in here. We've like I say, we've done nothing. I mean, we've not replaced any of the carpets. I think we replaced the lino in the kitchen. So we've washed the carpets a couple of times, obviously, but we need to get a move. Hopefully, I'm hoping something comes up soon. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to do that, actually. I did start a day in the life video the other day, and I thought I could do that with, like you say, putting in everything that I take as well, and I'll do that. Oh, rubber stamp. Yeah, I do like stamp. I've, obviously my journal that you got me, B, I've started decorating that. And I've like with washi tapes and things like that. I'll show you one time when I'm on. Yeah, it would be great, that, Amanda, wouldn't it, to meet up for a coffee? That's what I mean. I'd love to meet up with you all. Oh, crikey, yeah, our rent's a little bit cheaper than that. We've been lucky. I think our landlords took a bit of pity on us. When we moved in here, our rent was 480, and he's never put the rent up, but then he's never done anything to the house either. We've got an old enamel bath. And when we moved in, he said it needed re-enamelling, and it's still not been done. Dean, I'm in the north-east of England, near, have you heard of Middlesbrough? About an hour's south from Newcastle we are. Yeah, that's it, the radiotherapy. Oh, Jean, thank you so much, Jean. I really appreciate you coming on. I'm so glad you joined us. I will message you probably tomorrow anyway. But yeah, good night, Jean, and take care, and thank you again so much. I do appreciate it. Oh, thank you, B. I enjoy spending time with you all. I really do. Yeah, I do. I feel really awkward about it. I feel like, but a few people had asked me, and that's why I set it up. Well, I'd already had an Amazon wish list, because it's just what, you know, like my friends and family, you know, for Christmas and things like that. If ever I see anything, I'll put it on the list, and then if anyone needs any ideas there, go on there. So they could go on there if, you know, if they asked. I certainly don't expect anything from anybody. I don't. I am truly grateful for anything that, you know, I do receive though, but I certainly don't expect it. You know, just you subscribing, watching my videos, commenting, being here tonight is everything, you know, to me. It really, really means the world to me. It really does. Oh. Yeah, I bet it is quite expensive down there. I bet it's a nice place though. I don't think I've ever been to Herefordshire. I don't think I have. We're going to the Lake District in a couple of weeks. I'm very excited for that. I'll be taking you along. Yeah. Yeah, Bagaboo too, yeah, it's just commented there saying that treatment can cause cancer, yeah. So you've now got radiation-induced sarcoma. I am now stage 4, survived cervical, survived. Oh. Yeah, that, and that's obviously with the scans and things. I mean, when I've asked for scans and things, they've said, oh, you know, it's inducing more radiation, and, you know, that in itself causes risks. But, yeah, I know the treatments and things, but it's scary, isn't it? Because it's, what do you do? It's, you've got cancer, and somebody says, well, we can treat it, but the treatment might eventually cause cancer, but then it might get rid of this cancer. It's one of them, isn't it? It's so... Yeah, super chats. I know my husband follows like a football YouTuber, and he has the super chats. But to be honest, I don't really know how you do them, or I could maybe look into them. But yeah, it's yeah, it is scary, isn't it? With, like you say, treatments giving you cancer. It's... Yeah, I bet it's beautiful there, I bet. We're going, when we go to the Lake District, we're going to Coniston Village, I think. I think we're just on the edge of Coniston Water. It's a gorgeous cottage, mountain cottage it's called. I'll have to show you, but I'll be taking you with me anyway. So that'll be good, and I'll try and do a lot more vlogging this time. I'm getting a bit like less like, I feel, I suppose now, because I feel like you're more like friends now. And I've honestly made so many such good, you know, friends through my channel that, you know, it's like, when I recognise your names and I know like where you are, and, you know, I know a couple of you, we like email and things like that. And, you know, if anybody does want to email me, my email address is normally in the description, and I'll always get back to you. And Instagram as well. You know, if anybody wants to message me on there, if, you know, if ever you just need to talk or just want to vent or say hi, you know, I'm looking forward to going to the Lake District. It is going to be stunning. Oh, bless you, Amanda. I think a super chat, I don't really know how they work myself, but I think all it does is, I think it's just a way of like people supporting your channel by, I think you can like pay like, I don't know if it's like £1 or something, you can like, and then normally it comes up like in the comments, it's like highlighted to say that it's like a super chat and that you've supported the channel. I think it's that type of thing, but I haven't really looked into it. Oh, thank you. I do try to be friendly. Oh, gingerbread shop. Oh, that would be nice, a gingerbread shop. I like gingerbread. I'm hoping and praying I mean, we'll take the wheelchair with us anyway, because if I'm having a bad day, it's not fair on Ross for us not to go out. So we'll probably take the wheelchair with us, but I'm hoping I can get a little bit of like, at least a little bit of walking done, you know, just while we're there. And it looks like as well, the garden, it looks like there's a few different little areas in the garden for like sitting in as well, so that'll be quite nice. Denise, have I missed Denise? Oh no. Mary's saying hi to Denise. I couldn't. Hi Denise, if you've come in, I can't. It hasn't come up. Oh yes, there. I see it. Oh. You haven't really missed much, to be fair. I've just been waffling on. I was supposed to be. We were supposed to be talking in depth about cervical cancer and the risks and the treatments, and we've kind of skirted about it, but we haven't really. We've just more had a chat, haven't we? Yeah, no, Mary, I suppose not. The only reason I want them to do a hysterectomy is because they've said that there's a good chance that a tumour can regrow in the place where it started. And obviously I've got this issue at the minute with the fluid and the blood in my uterus. Which we're hoping isn't a tumour. We're hoping it's just radiation damage that's blocked my cervix. Oh, see, Amanda, I know we've had this conversation. Scotland, I love Scotland. Absolutely love it. Yeah. Yeah, when I was 18, I went to work in Scotland, in a little village called Ballater in Deeside, and it was just on the banks of the River Dee, literally next door to Balmoral, and it was absolutely stunning. I loved it up there. Absolutely stunning. Scotland is my, like, Ross, we keep talking, me and Ross, about just going, having a mad camp out on the beach and just taking the tent and going and camping. But I'm a bit dubious on our beach, because you're not supposed to, and you're not really supposed to have fires, and Whereas in Scotland, you can legally like wild camp, can't you? So, yeah, so I'm hoping to be visiting Scotland very soon. So I might, you never know, Amanda, we might be able to catch up, hopefully, and have a... might be able to have a coffee. Because I would like to, like... I mean, I might try and arrange something. I know it's difficult, obviously, because quite a lot of you are in America and things, but it would be nice to try and, like, arrange, like, a bit of a get-together at some point. But we'll see what this meeting comes back with. I feel like I'm... Does anybody want to get going, you know? Because if you do, just tell me and I'll stop waffling. Right. Let me write that down. Grasmere, Ambleside. Yeah, I'll definitely pop and get some gingerbread. I do like gingerbread. Yeah, so I think I'm going to see what happens with this business on the 26th, but I've been like you say, this last week I haven't felt too bad, but prior to that I've been really struggling like with my anxiety and things. Just, it really, I am waffling. What is felting? Right. So needle felting is, it's just, all it is stabbing wool with a needle basically. I'll grab something that, what have I got up here? Oh, so you can do like, there's different types of felting. There's like wet felting, like needle felting, and then there's like 2D felting as well. And these are just a couple of things that I've made, just like a little pumpkin. I started making these little mini monsters. I made Caden one actually. It's got a little heart on its back. And then we just made, when I did my last live at Christmas, just made one of these little Christmas trees. But I quite like 2D felting, which is, this isn't a very, ignore the outside because I've just took it out of the card, but it's just kind of like, you can see on there, just like, it's just wool fibres. And you just use like, just wool like that's not been spun. And then there's like special needles with little barbs on. But it's really good, it's really relaxing. And I'm not very patient and I'm not very artistic. But I think with needle felting, it's so forgiving. Like you can, if you make a mistake, you can usually rectify it by either adding a bit more wool on or keep jabbing away, or yeah, you can make like, one of the very first ones I made was a sheep. That was one of the very first ones I made. He's actually got a genuine Herdwick. He's supposed to be a Herdwick sheep. And it's actually Herdwick wool that he's got on him. But as you can see, he's a bit too long in the body. I haven't really got many up here. There's a little baby sheep I made. This was another type as well. This is just like in a cup. And obviously I've just made the little sheep, but it's really, really good fun. And you can just start with like simple things, you know, just like a ball, and it is easy to do. And like you said, bouncing away. And oh, excuse me. Oh, crikey. Yeah, and literally all it is, that's one of the needles. You won't be able to see the barbs on it there, but and that is all you do. And as you like stab it, you can hear the, and all it is the barbs pushing the fibres, and they're like not together. But if I, like, you can see there where I've caused like a little dent in it, so you can, you know, you can shape it like really well. But I need to get back into it, I really do. I've really, really missed it. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I would love that, Amanda. I'd love to meet you. I think that'd be great. I'd love to meet you all. That's the thing. Yeah, the little I'll show you Caden's little one, because I made it for him just like as a little comforter type thing, and he's got it actually. You might not know it, well, you probably won't have noticed, but on the video, one of my last videos, when I showed the picture of Caden's desk, he's got his little monsters sat in between his two screens. Little mini mons, we call them. Yeah, and that would be, it would, I think, you know, I think I might try and arrange maybe something after we know what's going on with this on the 26th. Yeah, that's it. And just the actual, one of my subscribers, Corey, she's actually in America, and there's an online needle felting, like felt along thing, and she's actually ordered me a kit, and she's ordered herself a kit, so we can actually both like go online and do it together at the same, like on the thing, so that'll be really good fun. Oh, thank you. Yeah, like, I enjoyed making that cup. I want to do some more of them. I keep meaning to go to the charity shops and just get some little like cups and saucers to make some. Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it, Mary? Symptoms can be, like, one symptom could be lots and lots of things, couldn't it? And that's why, you know, I think my GP's going to probably hate me, but I literally, I'm not being quiet now. If I go and, I mean, I had it with I'd spoke to the doctors at the beginning of December. I was having a lot of like really bad like anxiety and panic attacks, and I spoke to the doctors and they gave me some tablets, and I used them. I think she'd said I could use up to 3 a day, but I think I only ever took like maximum like 1 a day. I think there was a couple of days when I'd taken 2, like really bad days, and then when I rang up again, she was like, oh, well, we don't really want to give you them again because they're addictive. And it's a bit like, well, why would you give somebody something that's going to help them to then tell them that they can't have it? It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm having a consultation with her in a couple of weeks, so I don't know how that'll work out. But yeah, yeah, feeling bloated and lack of appetite as well, Muriel. Yeah, you're right. There's so many, isn't there? Debbie, on the 26th, I don't know how up to date you are. So I'd had a scan in December, and it showed that I had quite a lot of fluid in my bowel and my uterus, and they were querying whether it was a tumour in both of them. So they'd ordered an urgent MRI scan, and I had that on Monday just gone, I think it was. And when I spoke to my consultant on the Wednesday, she said there's no obvious signs of a mass, which is good. There was no sign of any cancer anywhere else in my body, which was brilliant. The 2 tumours that I have got have shrunk a little bit more as well, so that's brilliant. And And it's just obviously there's blood and fluid in my uterus and they don't know what's causing it. So she was going to have a MDT meeting, like a multidisciplinary team meeting, to discuss what the next steps are. I think what they're probably going to do is want to do an examination under general anaesthetic. And I'm a little bit, because if they do that and they take a biopsy, because I don't know how much there is in this, so please don't anybody take this for like as true. I mean, obviously you would do your own research if you had to have a biopsy or anything, but I read that if you have a biopsy, occasionally, because obviously your tumour is, like, it's encased in like a membrane, and occasionally when they do biopsies, it can rupture the membrane and cancer then can spread. I don't know if like people have heard, like they say, like sometimes if you have an operation, and then it spreads after, people can say it's, I don't know how much truth there is behind that, and I haven't read any medical, like, but that is one of my issues, and I do worry a little bit about that. So I think I think I'd like to push for a hysterectomy, to be honest, because I just think if this isn't a tumour, and there's a good chance that a tumour could come back there, surely it makes sense to just avoid that happening. Ah, yeah, Muriel. So there must be something in it, mustn't there? Yeah, that's scary, isn't it? That's what I mean. It's, yeah, it is. It's scary. It really is scary. What time are we? It's 20 past. I've been on for. I'll keep chatting for another 10 minutes, and then I really should let you all go and get back to whatever you're up to for the rest of the day or evening, or so that's not good, that, Muriel. And did they say that like could happen, or did they say that's what had happened? Excuse me, I'll just find a tissue to blow my nose. Absolutely like full of cold at the minute, and my nose like won't stop dripping. No. Yeah, I think I am. It just doesn't make any sense, does it? It doesn't make any. If they're gonna do a general anaesthetic to examine me, then they might as well just do it while they're there. Yeah. So that's a tricky one, isn't it? And how did all you that have like had hysterectomies, how did you find, like, what was the recovery like, and was it how was the op? And yeah, that is scary, that, isn't it, Muriel? That's like really concerning. How are you doing now? How are you doing today? I know I lose track of days, me. I watched your latest video, I think, was it a couple of days ago? Yeah, Muriel's got a channel as well, that's really good. I find listening to Muriel's like channel, that is so relaxing, just, it's so like eloquent, like, yeah, I do like listening to Muriel. Right, yeah. Yeah, because I think they do quite a lot of them, like laparoscopic. I know when I had my bowel resection, they did that all, like keyhole and everything. Yeah, fatigue's awful, isn't it? It's I don't know how much jogging I'll be doing, Denise, but you could feel free to jog away. You could jog on the spot. I'd love to. I wish I could get like back like my fitness, because I mean I feel bad on Ross, me, because obviously Ross is like quite an active person, and he wants to be out and doing, and I'm just like, oh, I'm tired, can't be bothered, can't walk. And yeah, Amanda, that's what I mean, that's what I've read as well. And yeah, it's like I said, I wouldn't want anyone to hold that like against like hold me to it or anything, but yeah, that is something that does concern me. And I think I think I'd rather have a PET scan, which I know again is more radiation, but I think I'd rather have a PET scan than have a vaginal examination and risk, if it is a tumour, risk them disrupting it, sort of thing. And at least with a PET scan, it's not going to cause any issues for the thing. But yeah, I think just the main thing we need to take, I think, from tonight and is just like you say, and obviously I know we've concentrated on cervical cancer because it's Cervical Cancer Prevention Week next week, and obviously that's what I've got. But obviously there's lots and lots of other cancers that we could, that you need to be on the lookout for. That again, with any cancer, isn't it? It's catching it early and getting in there and getting like treatment before it starts spreading. Because I think once it starts spreading, that's when it becomes tricky, isn't it? Because you don't know, there's little microscopic little bits, isn't there, that can... I mean, mine obviously spread from my cervix all the way up here. So I'm lucky it didn't, that touch wood so far, it hasn't like spread anywhere like to my lungs or anywhere like that at the minute. Right. Yeah, Lois is saying there, hysterectomy is easy compared to a bowel resection. But yeah, no jogging, no jogging for a while after that. I can't jog anyway at the minute. Yeah, step by step. Yeah, that's what I need to do, and that's what I'd said to Ross, that I want to start, like, because I did get in the habit of going out most nights with Ross taking the dogs, like, even if I didn't feel up to it, like, Ross would just push me in the wheelchair. But I want to try and start, and like you say, even if I can just walk a bit and then rest for a bit. And oh, my battery's running low. I've worn my pill phone out. Yeah, yoga and Pilates, yeah, definitely. I want to start doing yoga. I'm hoping... Oh, hi, Shantibel. So glad you could make it. I didn't think you were going to make it. Glad you have. Yeah, I think I'm going to start my yoga. I've just been in the process, you might have seen maybe on Instagram or on one of my videos, that I've been trying to organise all my paperwork and sort my journals and diaries out so that I can try and be a bit more organised. But because honestly, I'm absolutely useless with that type of thing. But yeah, I'm going to start yoga. And like you say, even if I'm having a bad day, even if I do a bit sat down, or... I think I've put on a bit of weight, which is good. I got weighed. Thank you. I feel quite good tonight. I've made a bit of an effort. I put a bit of makeup on as well, so... yeah, I think I weighed myself yesterday and I was 53 kilograms. So that is really good, because I'd been bouncing between like 48 and 51 for the last... So that's the highest I've been for a little while. But yeah, so I'm them drinks that I'm taking are obviously doing the job. I got my prescription through for them the other day, so I've got them now. I'm supposed to take 3 a day, but I'm a bit, I don't like to have too much sugar, and they're quite high in sugar, I think. Yeah, definitely just make a start and get myself, like, because I just feel like time's just like ticking by, and I feel like I'm not being effective enough with my time, and I'm scared that things do start going downhill and I feel like I've wasted all this time. So I need to get myself organised and start getting a bit fitter and things like that. And hopefully, like you say, fingers crossed, on the 26th it'll not be too bad. Yeah, I am. I'm feeling quite good today, and I was a bit nervous earlier, like coming live again. I was like, oh, but like once I'm on here and I'm like chatting to you all, I feel like it just feels like I'm chatting to my friends, so it's great. Oh, yeah, yes. Not soggy food doesn't sound very nice, does it? So just like you're just having like soups and like pastas and things like that. You're just, yeah, because that just make sure I haven't missed anybody's comments. Because that's the other thing as well. Like all my comments on my channel, I've like when I did my NHS video, I've literally, I think I've still got comments on there that I haven't, because I sit down obviously every day. I sit down and I'll be like, right, I'll catch, spend a bit of time doing the comments. I always read them. I read the comments all the time, but I just like to try and like I want to get back to everybody, because I think you've taken the time to sit and watch my video and comment, and the least I can do is acknowledge it, isn't it? So if I haven't answered any of your comments, I will get to you, I promise. Yeah, Shanti Bella, I'm the same. I do. I need to just organise my life a bit better. I need to have a bit more like routine in my life. I think that's the. Oh yeah, 20 people. Oh, it's a bit scary when you say it like that, because I think if I had 20, like if you were all sat here, I think it would feel a bit scary. But it's like you say, I've spoke to quite a lot of you before, and yeah, I do. I feel alright. I feel like quite nice and relaxed. Because I was thinking I might do like a live maybe once a month or something like that, and just do like a. Oh, thank you for on the 26th. Yeah, thank you. Bye, Lois. Take care, and thank you, honestly. Thank you so much for being here and spending your time with me. I think I'm going to have to... Oh, hi, Wendy. How are you doing? How's the weather over there? But it's a bit warmer than here. Oh, thank you for your understanding about the comments. Yeah, sweet dreams to you too, and thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday and the rest of your weekend. Take care. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's hard with the comments, isn't it? But because I never know whether to, because when I read them, I never know whether to like the comment then, but then I don't want to like it for people to think that I've liked it, but I'm not going to comment back. So that's why I tend to. Oh, brilliant, Amanda. Take care, Amanda. Thank you so much. And message me and let me know how things go. Denise, I'm just having a telephone consultation with my consultant. They're having a meeting to decide what the next steps to do with me are going to be, whether to do an examination or a PET scan or what they're going to do next. So it's just really to find out what they're doing next. So she's ringing me then. Oh, hi Joe, how are you? Oh, thank you, I appreciate your support, I really do. Oh, crikey. I like storms though, when you're snuggled up all inside, and I always think about the poor animals and things outside. That's what I always worry, you know, when it's icy and frosty, like snowy, I worry about the animals. Yeah, I've had a lovely Saturday evening, thank you. And I'm going to have to get going because my phone keeps telling me my battery's going to die on me, and I don't want to just abandon you all, like. So I'll, but yeah, I don't know if you'd be maybe up for like me doing a live, like maybe once a month or something like that, just, you know, and we could maybe do different things. And if any of you have got any ideas of any videos that you want me to do, or anything that you want to see, or anything like that, just let me know. I'm open to ideas. Oh, my hands are getting a bit chilly. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Yeah, definitely thank you, NHS. Oh, bless. Oh, she's scared of the storm. Yeah, it's been lovely seeing you all. Honestly, thank you all so much for joining me, and I really appreciate you. Sending you all big hugs, and I'll probably have a video Monday night, hopefully. I might do a day in the life. I'll do that next and get that up. Okay, right, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Bye. Bye.